October 10th, 2007. This is Diehard Gamer Radio, episode 34.
You are approaching the target of attack. Your mission starts now. Are you ready? The countdown begins. 3, 2, 1, go!
You are listening to Diehard Gamer Radio, the source for off-mainstream video game news and topics. And now, your hosts, Murdock, Brian, John, and Steve.
Just a couple more shots.
Welcome back to... Who weren't? Welcome back to Diehard Gamer Radio. I am Murdock, and with me is John, Brian, and Steve.
With Brie.
Yes, Steve is eating cheese today.
Podcast will be
Steve is eating cheese every day.
So apparently the people at Namco, in collaboration with working on Soul Calibur 4, decided to send him some cheese.
I'm sure that's exactly where it came from.
Yeah,
because what happened was this brief showed up in my mailbox, and I have no idea who it came from.
It said from Kilik.
Yeah. From Kilik.
Yeah. And in
here's some cheese. Love, Guile, and Kilik.
Steve is not bitter.
Yes, Sonic Boom!
Steve is not bitter at all.
I'm not bitter.
You'll love this cheese to the maxi.
And in the background, Angry John is here. He'll be
he's a peanut gallery.
He'll be providing a movie review.
Nuts.
So let's go to our gaming news. Our first gaming news: Seeds is now Platinum Games. Clover really needs to decide on a name.
This isn't really Clover, though, right? This is just a couple of designers from Clover who left Capcom, but most of this
Well,
is
Seeds is what Clover came
from,
because it grew, and it was a...
It's as much Clover as the guys who are making Hellgate London are Blizzard.
The man has a point. Now all they need to do is, make a game. But I digress.
Location.
Well, make a game and make some money off of it, too.
Well, there's...
Important second step.
So collect.
Actually, that would be the third step. Second step is the question marks.
...
Second step, create a game with actual code. So moving on, our next news, Xbox 360 Core to be discontinued and replaced. And other Xbox models to come with pack-in games. So what's going on is the Xbox Core is going away, and it's supposed to be replaced with the Xbox 360 Arcade, which is a pre-sale for $279. Comes with an HDMI port, wireless controller, 256 megabyte memory card, and 5 Xbox Live Arcade games, including Boom Boom Rocket, Pac-Man, Uno, Feeding Frenzy, and Luxor 2.
So it's just enough memory to cover those arcade games.
Is the arcade one is the arcade one actually announced yet? I don't think it was announced yet.
It has not been officially announced yet.
Well, there's been confirmed rumors from 3 or 4 major sources, so it's Microsoft themselves haven't come out and said, yeah, this is it, but everybody else already knows.
So the only difference now will be lack of hard drive and component cable, and otherwise totally the same system.
From what I know so far, this may change between now and then.
Still cheaper just to buy the next one up at that point.
And
just
then
get the hard drive for crying out loud.
Well, speaking about the other ones, on top of that, all Xbox 360s and 360 Elites will now come with free copies of Forza Motorsport 2 and Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
Mm-hmm.
So for those
Is Marvel Ultimate Alliance a Microsoft Game Studios game?
Nope.
That's really odd that's packing.
The same team that made Legends and Legends 2. X-Men.
So who's the publisher?
I believe it's Activision.
Yeah, that's
Activision.
bizarre that's a bundle then.
What's funny is Activision made more money last year than EA as a third party.
Well, all the money that they made didn't have to go to lawsuits, or paying overtime for employees.
They released a little game called Guitar Hero.
That would help.
That just put them over the top, I'm sure.
All right. So next up, we have OMG WTF BBQ import games released on US Wii Virtual Console, and bonus item Neo Geo games now out on the Virtual Console. So the import games, there's two. There's Sin and Punishment, which was originally on the Nintendo 64, done by our very good friends at Treasure.
One of the last games that come out on the system.
And then there's the Japanese version of Super Mario Brothers 2. And when I mean Super Mario Brothers 2, the Lost Levels with the actual, Super Mario Brothers graphics.
Doki Doki Panic? Come on.
Well, they haven't released Doki Doki Panic yet.
I can't kill Birdo again?
Well, it wasn't Bird. I don't think it was Birdo originally. And then as far as the Neo Geo games, games that have come out so far are Fatal Fury, World Heroes, and Art of Fighting. So, in other words, the
Racquetball Punch!
Well,
Where's Metal Slug?
It's on a collection on a separate disc.
For less than
that game
it would
you
cost
have to
to buy it
buy.
off the download.
Yeah.
You get all 7 of them, though.
Thank you for releasing Art of Fighting, the hardest fighting game ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I take issue with them releasing it because you don't have a giant joystick with which to break your wrist on.
You have the Wii.
It didn't help in that game, though.
No, it didn't.
I remember playing that in the original Neo Geo, and, I play it at home once in a while now, but it hasn't gotten any easier.
I have it on the PlayStation 2 in a collection, and the thing is impossible. The game is just so hard.
It's almost designed for the joystick, literally. Playing it on a D-pad is just ridiculously hard.
That ain't no button masher.
Yeah.
You better be precise as hell.
So,
Well, that sounds like a good time.
No.
Sign me up.
is this the first Neo Geo fighting game you've ever heard of that, is very difficult?
My issue is that they're putting out World Heroes, and World Heroes sucks.
Why they keep going back to World Heroes, I'll never know. At least Jet was not impossible. It was at least almost a decent game.
Well,
But I still hated World
Heroes 2 Perfect was probably the best one, but World Heroes never got into it. I don't know if it was just the characters or what.
It was like a really cheeseball version of Mortal Kombat. I mean, it was like a cartoony version of it.
Oh, so it's just part of the movie The Game.
How do you get more cartoony than Mortal Kombat?
Well, at least Mortal Kombat was used with real people. It didn't look like a cartoon itself, but World Heroes was like...
Well, you see, John, when you actually make someone explode, they actually have about 5 rib cages, 2 skulls, and about, 50 gallons of giblets.
Green giblets.
Depends on the game.
Yeah, depends on what setting it was on, too.
Yeah, I was...
I never really understood the green blood in Mortal Kombat. That was like the switch. You couldn't turn off the switch in the arcade.
You and every other Japanese person out there.
Well, like in Mortal Kombat, the arcade, there was 3 settings. There was no blood, green blood, and red blood.
That was only on the Genesis.
No, on the arcades they had it too.
Yeah, on the actual arcade board.
You could actually go in and actually select it in there.
Yeah, it was in the diff settings.
Because on the Genesis version, you start off the green blood, but you could go in and switch it over to red blood.
Yeah.
Whereas on the NES, Super NES, they left out the blood altogether.
Yeah, Nintendo was still too worried about parental problems then.
For those who remember, on the Genesis, the code is ABACABB during the...
Careful, folks, we have a nerd alert. We'll take care of this.
Bosses used to be really mad because we used to
just,
go in, and when we opened in the mornings, we would actually go in and turn on the red blood for Mortal Kombat. We'd be like, who turned on the red blood? I don't know, man. I turned it on, and it was on. I didn't have time to turn it off. The store's opening.
Must be a default setting.
No, it's not.
Well,
So
they
did you
didn't
just
know that.
read that out of your copy of Nintendo Power?
No. That was for the Genesis version, actually.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because, like I said, the Super NES version... that's why.
If you want, I can tell you how to, open up the bosses in the Street Fighter 2 Turbo on the SNES. I know that one by heart, too.
No, I think we should move on to number 4.
Okay. So, next up, Xbox 360 Falcon chips have arrived.
Amazingly, they found a way to make people want to buy the Halo 3 Edition Xbox.
It's only showing up in half of the Halo 3 Special Edition Xbox 360.
So you got to buy 2.
Not all of them. You have a 50% chance of getting a system that will not overheat. But I did see the kitty helmet, the Master Chief kitty helmet. I actually saw it.
Yeah, the problem is
it's huge.
It's huge, but the problem is it's pretty much shaped on the inside to just go over the little stand thing, And so even if you tried to put it on your household pet, it really wouldn't fit unless you want to route out some more foam.
That's bigger than that. I mean,
It's definitely fit on some
I
cats.
saw some. I saw some
I don't have to see them. When I looked at it, it looked pretty small. Maybe they did actually route out foam. Because I mean, you can just take
folks,
out
it's a
foam
boy.
and,
Quick,
you
put
know.
the helmet on it.
So.
It's bigger than that, believe me. I remember guys walking out of Best Buy on Monday night with it. And, I mean, the thing was like this.
Well, the helmet's
like,
really big,
what
but
the
it's
fuck is in that box?
the
Like,
thing.
It's the helmet.
Yeah.
This game
It's
gets great helmet.
$130 helmet.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
hey,
you
your
know
kid.
what? You know what else they got, though? They got inflatable Halo 3 chairs.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, Best Buy gave them all.
Yeah, that'll last like an hour before you pop it from floating around and
Well, the nice thing is,
fidgeting. And
nice thing is that once you put the helmet on your cat, you'll be successfully defended against the Covenant.
Yes.
does that unlock achievement of points?
Yes. Place on cat.
Yeah, you have to
achievement
buy the
unlocked.
Vision Cam, though.
Yeah.
And you have
We
to
see pussy in that helmet. Achievement points unlocked.
and you have to delete the picture of your scrotum before you can do that.
Yeah.
So moving on, our next news: PS3 price cut coming October 12th, and
Well,
this is
how
a
about
rumor.
just PS3 cut? Really, is what it is.
Like-
Not just a price cut, but cut features, cut even more desire to get one.
Did you read about what they're? Well, you had this listed. Well, we'll wait till we get to rumor 7.
Yeah.
Number
But
7.
so I think we can safely say that the big players are all gearing up for the holiday rush, except
Should've
Nintendo,
done those
because
two in
they
order.
still can't make enough of them to be able to meet demand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem to bother him either.
Which is really bizarre, because, I mean, seriously, if I was a Nintendo shareholder, I'd be ready to lynch somebody about
And the thing is that Nintendo shares have actually gone up. I checked.
It's always counterbalanced. It's always counteractive. It doesn't
Well-
matter how good a game company is doing, their stock will go down.
They did the same thing in '85 with the NES.
They've taken all their system launch advice from Howard
Themselves.
Lincoln.
Howard Lincoln.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know, I mean, keeping demand high. Okay,
They're laughing all the way to the bank. So
pretty much.
next up, happy 30th birthday to the Atari 2600.
2600's left.
Woo!
It's
This
4
is like-
years younger than me.
This is like saying, happy birthday to Genghis Khan.
Well, the Atari 2600.
Shut up, man. I still got one.
A Genghis Khan.
Well, 2 actually.
A Genghis Khan. You got 2 Genghis Khans?
It was a slow weekend.
I don't think it still counts as alive at this point. This is digging up the corpse and putting a party hat on it.
So it came out in October.
This is Weekend in Bernie's, the Atari edition.
Keep the Atari 2600 alive until the owners come
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play.
Strangely enough, I was bidding on a complete Superman for the Atari
Oh my
2600
God.
on eBay last night.
It's a trap. It's a
is.
trap.
Lady wanted it bad. I let her have it for $13.
Oh, I bet you let her have it. So it came out in October 1977, and it was $199 with 9 titles. And I adjusted it for inflation just for the hell of it, and that's $686.16 in $2007.
I still have
So
a
the
couple
real
of
question
original
is-
games at home sealed that say $49.99 on them for an Atari cart. And I'm blown away right now because I don't remember. Well, I wasn't buying them back then. It was the parents buying them, but still, jeez.
Well, you had to pay the price by like mowing the lawn for like a month, right?
Still
like
comes
3
with more
months.
packing games than Sony's.
1980.
Yeah, combat.
Parents were letting you mow the lawn in 1980. We were all what, 4
I was 7.
in 1980?
Born in 73. Yeah, I'm a little bit
I
older.
don't know too many 7-year-olds who mow the lawn.
Damn, I wanted those games bad.
They have lawns in. Weren't you?
I was out eating them with my teeth.
Yeah. Right, you're the lawnmower man.
I think I ate a weed. Keep chewing.
Were you in California back then?
The weeds are the tasty ones.
Accessing
According to the
database.
ducks I used to have.
Possibly.
They'd always go for the weeds first.
Yeah, apparently the weeds. They wouldn't eat the grass. They'd eat the weeds because the weeds.
Yeah,
were
I
tastier,
think I was
apparently.
in California in
That's pretty
1980.
useful, actually.
80 or 81.
Yeah, we had the
Yeah,
best
80
salon ever
through
looked.
81. 82.
It was also kind
Yeah.
of funny when they would chase around bees and flies because the bees and flies would kind of hover around the grass and they would put their heads down really close to the ground and flap their wings and run after them. And so they do like these weird little patterns on the ground, chasing bees around and stuff. It's cool.
What are they doing? Strafing patterns?
Well, no, they never left the ground.
Wow.
They'd run, but they would flap their wings as they were running to get speed up. It's pretty cool.
Speaking of bees, anybody try the bee movie demo?
No.
It's very odd because I've actually heard from a couple of places that it's a really good game, which is
Wait. A movie?
A licensed movie game, a licensed children's movie game is supposed to be good.
Wait, what? Huh?
I know, that's why I was asking.
What?
Did they already have this game created and then just put the skins on it for this movie, or what?
Did they take Unreal Tournament and put B-movie skins on there? Is Jerry Seinfeld's like,
This
oh, I got
seems
a brag, I don't know what's going
This
on.
is, see it on the download list, give it a try.
This
Find
game
out if
seems
they're
a
lying.
lot like Halo with little kids. It looks a lot like Crackdown with teenagers.
These are Christians waiting to be born.
Well, we're getting to that.
Well, okay. Save that one, folks.
So thank you, Atari, for 30 years, and hope that you go back and get back in business soon.
Well, they are in business. They've just been bought 17 times.
Yeah.
Oh, their name has.
Yeah.
Everything else wasn't even worth buying.
What, E.T.? Give you a penny for it. Next up.
Well, like they even had the rights to E.T.
Well,
Come on.
Yeah.
They could license Pong.
So 40 gigabyte 3D PS3 model will not have backward compatibility. So
Yeah,
there's
the
a-
Europeans are getting screwed once again.
Well, aren't we getting the 40
Everybody.
gigabyte
This is
Everybody
a
has
model?
model
this
that's
is-
going to replace worldwide.
Yeah, that's just stupid. That was the one thing they had going for them that nobody else could guarantee. The one thing Sony never screwed us on. They were almost 100% compatible with their games.
I'm
The
firmly
Wii
of
has
the
solid backwards compatibility.
well, the Wii is a GameCube.
Well-
that's kind of a lost cause
I'm
right
not
there.
saying it was hard for them, but they pulled it off.
All this was like it went in for a tune-up, and they modified the body of it and shrunk it down and made it sleeker, and it's really the same.
I'm really firmly of the conviction these days that if you've got so many, PS2 games that you need backward compatibility, keep your PS2. Buy a new one if it's broken. They're not hard to find.
Well, yeah, the system's going to be around for another 3 or 4 years easily.
They are dropping the price on this new one to the point where you could afford to buy one and a PS2.
But how hard was the compatibility issue that they had to drop it? Why was
Well, it depends on how much
Because
effort they
still
wanted to
needed
put into it.
PS2. They needed one of the PS2 chips in there. I think the graphic synthesizer.
So they're
actually
saving
still
money
had
on
to be in
chips
there.
to drop the price of it,
Yes,
basically.
it's one of the things they were able to cut out because they also took out the memory card slots.
And they
They
have the
cut it
USB
down
slots.
to 2 USB instead of 4 USB ports.
Wait, why do you need 4 USB ports? My PowerBook doesn't have 4 USB ports.
So you can plug in all 4 controllers at once.
The controllers use USB?
Well, when you want to charge them.
Even the 360
Nifty.
only has 2. How do you need to charge 4 at one time? Are you that stupid?
Well, also it would let you plug in 4 of your original PS2 controllers. I have no idea whether or not a multi-tap would even work with the PS3.
I have no
I
idea.
don't know.
Yeah.
It's just, you can get up to 4 players on there, and having 4 ports means, whatever
just
happens, they can all
don't-
be plugged in. Now you can't.
They just need to have USB hubs.
Yeah.
So now it's down to the same number of USB ports as on the PS2.
Okay. So, next up, rumor Sony working on 3rd series in Eco series, and I did pronounce it correctly. It is Eco.
Ico on A.
And this would interest John.
Yeah,
Arguably the
probably.
best hummingbird shooter ever.
That's Calibri
Oh,
for
yes,
the
yes,
32X.
Which one was Eco?
Eco was it's the
a
prequel
boy
to
trying
Shadow
to-
of the Colossus.
Oh,
It's
Little
young boy.
with the stick.
and the nonsense princess.
Yeah,
Ah,
I'm sorry, I
yes,
don't
yes,
speak
yes.
crazy bitch.
Yeah. Now I remember.
And also one of the games that I was always disappointed that the Europeans got a better version than we did.
Why was she naked or something?
No, but if you played through again, you actually got to understand Crazy Bitch.
Oh,
Or you can, read the game FAQ and just read up on
You
it.
also could get a lightsaber. There were some extended puzzles.
All I did in the game was just make him die in really horrible ways. It was really funny.
I don't think that's the way you're supposed to play the game.
I wasn't into that.
He's a
day,
rebel, man.
Yeah, that day I didn't want to play the game. I just want to see how many interesting ways I could kill them.
Nobody gets him. He's like the wind.
So moving on, our next news bit: students develop drunk driving game. It is called the Booze Cruise. Was developed by students over at University of Calgary. The object of the game is to drive home in 90 seconds without killing anyone. The game is supposed to simulate a blood alcohol content 3 times the legal limit, and if you're living in Canada, that's 8.8%.
So
0.08%, not 8%.
So once you pull this off, you'll be fully trained and ready to drive home drunk.
Yes. I don't know why you're doing this game. It's just encouraging mad. And they don't need any encouragement.
Does it come with a vibration pack? That's what I want to know.
No, that happens right when you wreck the vehicle.
It comes with the statutory enforcement pack.
Yeah, it comes with can you say the alphabet backwards patch. Next up, Bungie branches off from Microsoft because I guess Bungie wants to make games for other systems other than Xbox 360.
What the hell did they offer Microsoft? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, tell me about it. That
Halo on the DS, yes.
Bungie's come a long way, though. I mean, they started out as
They had to give up a lot of. They won't mention it, but they had to give up a good portion of their share of the Halo royalties.
That would make sense. That
Matter
would
of
probably
fact,
be enough money to
from
help
what
them.
I'm hearing on the internet, they've given up so much that it's enough to put Microsoft games into the black for the first time ever.
Wow.
But I mean, this is just crazy.
And Halo on the DS is still not a reality because Microsoft retains the Halo name.
And yeah, the Halo IP too. Yeah. Nobody can do anything without Halo without asking them. And it would be a real shock if Bungie went to another and actually started developing things for other platforms anyway.
Why
I mean,
would they-
they've just spent the last 3 years working on the 360
Yeah,
and
they
developing
know how to-
technology.
Yeah, but
Or
this
know
would
how to
not be
develop.
unknown to Bungie though. They started off as Mac gamers. They developed games for Macs.
Wait,
Then they moved-
games for Mac?
Those people aren't left anymore.
Well, then they went to PC gaming and pissed off their Mac crowd, and they did some decent games on the PC.
Okay, so they
And,
pissed off like 3
Actually,
people.
They never did anything on the PC. They ported Marathon after they did their Mac stuff, but they were bought by Microsoft and then went right into console.
Well,
Right.
actually,
That's
they were
right.
making a game called Halo on the PC. It was called something else, and it was
first
actually
for the Macintosh.
Yeah, it was first for the Mac and then went
and they
straight
bought
to
from
the
Microsoft, and they were
Xbox.
doing. And as soon as the Xbox became a name, just gone from the PC scene.
Yeah.
They'd never done a damn thing for it.
They also did. Well, the funny thing was, Halo was never supposed to be a first-person shooter. It was supposed to be an RTS in an open world where
way
they just.
back in the day. But even when they were showing at the Mac shows, they'd already switched over to doing FPS
Hey,
stuff.
Well, they only realized that because they were going in and dicking around with the characters and running around and seeing from behind their perspective, and they realized how much fun they were having doing that, and that's kind of how Halo came about. But it was never actually supposed to be an FPS, though. I mean, that's kind of
And guess
crazy.
what? It is an RTS.
Well, it is now, but they're going back to what they started with.
Yeah, but
And
it's,
most of the
But it looks like it's a really
but
crappy
it's
RTS.
It's Ensemble, the guys who do Age of Empires. So.
Yeah.
most of the real Bungie went out and formed Wide Load Studios,
Yeah.
and they made a totally mediocre game and really haven't been heard from since.
Can't imagine
That's
why.
what a mediocre game will do to you.
Pretty much the whole Halo 1 team, they didn't work on Halo 2 because he's right. They left to form Wide Load, and they brought in a bunch of new people who did Halo 2 and did Halo 3.
So what can we expect from Bungie?
God only knows.
Yeah, who knows?
Stubbs the Zombie on DS.
Yeah, Stubbs the Zombie in FPS.
How would that work, huh?
You would beat opponents with body parts.
Yes, yes. You could dual wield.
Yeah.
Is that
Which means
manhunt?
You
Is
stick
that
your lips
Condemned?
out in front and you flap.
Which one of the buttons is the chew on the
Murdock.
brain button?
So anyways, moving along.
So next up, we have the E for All Expo expands their attendee list. They went from 2 to I think 3. No wait.
No, I think they got actually 2 more.
Wait a minute.
Attendee list? These are the people who are going to attend, right? So
Right.
Yes.
there's like 5 people attending now?
Well, no, actually, there's more than the list I gave, but I just picked out some of the more entertaining ones.
Like Bob Smith.
Well,
And DeVry University.
well, some of the more interesting ones are 5 Hour Energy, which is an energy drink maker. DeVry University,
Wow.
which
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
they got Fatality, which is one of the
that
better gamers out there right now.
he's a cyber athlete, man.
Yeah.
He's actually the world champion at Unreal. So.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I watch him own on Gameplay
How is
TV.
this not
He's-
going to be a disaster?
He's awesome.
Yeah. But one of the more interesting ones that I put a question mark one was Commodore Gaming, and I'm like, what? Huh? Is Commodore still around?
Cracks me up. Nintendo's even bothering to show up.
And
Well, Nintendo, and well,
DeVry
Nintendo has got
University
these,
and Westwood College.
yeah, DeVry and
Oh.
Westwood.
Oh well, GamePro is showing up.
GamePro Game Tip: avoid this convention.
Don't some of the people that started this convention have some connection to GamePro?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing that gets me is Westwood College and DeVry.
Well,
The-
they have video game programming
Well, yeah.
programs. That's why.
Yeah, but
Yeah, in fact, they have the worst commercials out there for the video game programming.
yeah,
All you gotta do is watch Spike TV about 8
we need to
o'clock at
tighten
night.
up the graphics on level 3.
Now, those commercials
Yeah,
are,
we'll have that same sound effect
Well,
for
it's
the
like,
prior
let
level.
me- let
You
me-
mean this?
the commercials
Let
are
me-
from, they're also on G4, dude. So.
Yeah.
What's you have to just
I mean,
That's
really
their
want-
main
tighten
network
up
that
the
they
graphics
promote
is
on
where you
it.
just
I
turn the
only watch
graphics
G4
like
for Ninja
dial
Warrior.
To 11.
to 11, yes, and it tightens it up a little bit.
I only watch G4 for Ninja Warrior since they don't actually talk about video games anymore.
Yeah. So next up,
No, they rerun the Tokyo Game Show special over and over again.
Yeah.
I have on demand. So I can
They
watch
keep
it.
doing it over and over and over again.
or they're showing reruns of Code Monkeys.
Or cops or cheaters.
Yeah, I don't get that. I don't get that at all.
Okay.
What the hell's wrong with these people?
No, see, G4, the executives at Comcast, for some reason, believes there's this phantom gamer demographic.
That loves cops.
No,
No, they love
And
cheaters.
cheating.
No, that for some reason that are in that are like into hip hop and like street racing and like shows like Cheaters and Cops. Seriously, no. As a former Comcast employee, I'm not shitting you. Okay?
So is this like the demographic that pops onto Halo for some oh my god faggot action?
Yes. They believe that's an actual demographic.
Anybody who can actually
And
hit
they
you
believe
is
that-
using a
and here's the
aimbot.
thing, they also believe that that this phantom demographic wasn't being properly served by Spike TV, and that they could serve them better.
Right.
Huh.
Okay.
Well, I think they failed.
They failed royally. Yes.
Yeah, good luck with
Uh,
that.
Hello, this is Comcast we're talking about. They're kind of like the Fox of cable
Okay.
networking.
They did it so bad. They did such a bad job that the G4 Studios is actually closed down. G4 now films all their programming, X-Play, Attack of the Show, and that. They actually used E Entertainment Studios because they closed down G4 Studios because they were losing so much money.
Definitely a sign of success.
Yes.
Yeah, obviously they went
Thank
the
you,
right way with that
Comcast.
one.
I've been totally
That's why I have
impressed with
the dish.
Comcast. Even my reception on cable is going downhill. I think I
Yeah.
get better over-the-air quality than I do off of the cable line.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah, and I noticed that the porn torrents are slowing down for me. So what the hell? man?
We had this interesting conversation actually at NDK with one of Damien's coworkers who swears that they've got this rate limiting torrent stuff that will stop people from downloading and torrenting illegal things with 100% success.
It's not 100% success, but that is true. They've talked about it on torrentfreaks.com. Also.
Yeah, they have, but the problem is that they're basically doing stateful packet inspection and relying on the packets to be properly, saying I'm a torrent packet.
Which is why we have those encryption checkboxes in torrent clients.
Correct.
I just pinged my friend's IP and realized I had two bad nodes I was going to, and I was getting like 11 milliseconds all the way up until node number 9 and 10, and it's like 144 milliseconds timed out. I'm like, what? And of course it's Quest, so Comcast is going to say, oh, it's not our fault, that's Quest, you'll have to call them.
Well, it's that
Also, you
3C509
think
Nick Clark card in between West and Comcast there.
Yeah.
Wow, we've now entered the most boring conversation ever in the history
That
of this
would be
podcast.
hilarious. though.
Yeah,
I better get some new tulip drivers for that.
exactly.
If you laughed at this, you are a nerd.
Yeah, not only a nerd, but a Linux.
Was this like the Jeff Foxworthy part of the show?
You know you're a nerd. When, no, I'm not gonna do that.
All right, now
When you associate packet loss with your local
Melty
IP.
Blood news here.
Well, next up we have
Contra 4.
releasing
I have more
November
Contra news.
13th. Yes, because Contra is always the right answer, except for the 3D Contras. And we're unknown if the Konami code is in effect, but
Hey, you
Well,
couldn't
no, we
do it.
pause it, do it, and blow
No,
up.
you couldn't do it because it's going to be on the DS.
yeah.
Yeah, no, because you couldn't do it.
Well,
on
you'd have to do it with the stylus, but you can do it with the DS. Yes.
Why would you have to do it with the stylus?
Yeah, it has an A and a B button, and
Well,
you got up, and down. So
Well, they did that with like Gradius 3, where if you actually did the Konami code, your ship would blow up, and you had to substitute the LR, the left right, with the LR triggers on the top. So they might do something weird like that on the Nintendo DS.
Well,
Just for nostalgia.
either way,
It's Konami, what can we say?
Well,
I remember some fools trying to figure it out on the PS2 on Shattered Soldier, and they're like, "Wait a minute, there's only X, square, triangle, and circle. Damn it!"
Yeah, and the Konami code does
The
work in that
triangle.
game, by the way. There's a 30-man code for that game, and Shattered Soldier definitely needs it. Moving on, our next news, Melty Blood Ac Cadenza 2 announced, and the only reason I'm mentioning this is it's based on the same people who gave us that one series that I just now forgot.
Wow, that's really sweet, dude.
Well,
Thanks for bringing that up.
It's
Yeah.
Fate Stay Night.
Well, will you let us know again when they add another couple of suffixes?
Yeah.
Well, I don't even know what a cadenza is.
Also,
is
Ken,
that like a chest of
it's,
drawers?
Yeah.
and if it's
Maybe
and
you put plants in it.
is Melty Blood also based on porn?
No,
Because
It's-
There is porn of it, but it's not based on
that's
it.
how we got Fate Stay Night. So
well, that
It's
he's
not based on.
yeah. Well, it's a visual novel that does eventually get to the porn point.
yes, the very original stuff was
You mean the man thing?
So next up,
the man thing.
the man
Would that
thing.
be invisible penises?
Is that show with Jimmy Kimmel, the man thing?
It got very popular without the porn, but very originally, yes, there's
Fate
porn
Stay Night
involved.
is a very underwhelming 24-episode anime series.
Yes, it is.
Very underwhelming.
I guess that's because they left out the
They
porn.
left out the porn. Is the
Yes.
problem. All right.
Well,
What do we
no
got?
more.
Ministers.
Ministers using Halo 3 to lure kids into going to church.
Well, it's better than luring them into other things.
Oh.
Well, I know they get them in with the games, but they.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, all right, then.
They're evangelicals. Can know better.
They're just there to talk them into not having abortions.
Yeah,
and,
not using
hating,
condoms.
hating Jews and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Not
Well,
being a snipey
getting
bitch.
kids to
Not
play
that.
Halo 3 is probably a pretty good abstinence plan.
You will definitely not be having sex if you're
Yeah.
playing Halo 3.
Why don't they just get them to play WoW then, and they never really ever.
You probably
Even
wouldn't-
better.
You probably wouldn't be playing having sex anyway if you're like me, because I start playing the goddamn thing. The next thing I know, it's 4 a.m. I'm like, oh shit, I better go to bed. I gotta get up for work in 2 hours.
WoW would have been
This is sounding like a better idea all the time.
well, WoW would be a better choice, but then the church would have to pay like the monthly fees.
Speaking
Yes,
of which, have
yes.
you seen the WoW Toyota commercial?
Oh my God! What a horror that was.
I thought it was hilarious.
They played on the Leroy Jenkins thing, and you
Oh,
see a
he's like-
Toyota come into the
No,
WoW
no,
screen,
where they're picking
and it
their
goes and
weapons.
attacks a dragon, and the dragon eats the Toyota, and then it bursts out the dragon's stomach, and you're
He's right
What?
though. When they're picking their weapons, this one guy's like, "I'll take my epic axe," and the other guy's like, "Let me equip the exploding arrows," and then this other guy's, "I'll take 4 wheels of fury!" And all of a sudden, a Toyota truck appears.
Okay.
Into the truck.
All
You're
right.
like, what the hell did happen?
I want to know
wheels of
who
fury.
paid who to use what.
This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
I thought it was pretty hilarious myself.
All right, so a little background on what's going on this one. So,
Do we
this,
really need background?
Well-
It's priests trying to, well, not priests, ministers trying to use Halo 3 to convert young souls.
Okay.
Don't start any more lawsuits than they already have.
Yes, they're trying to get jiggy with it.
they just found a new lure to get kids into the churches.
What's hilarious about this, though? The kids they're luring in are like 13, 14 years old. This is an M-rated game.
Yeah,
You're supposed to be 17 years and older to buy it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, the minister went out and bought it.
Yeah. And the church bought it, probably tax-free.
Yeah, they wrote that baby off. You know that?
Well,
in their first tries, the alcohol and pornography got ruled out. So
I want to say,
well, after a few parental complaints, I mean, what can you do?
As far as M-rated games go, there's not really much that makes it M-rated.
There really isn't.
Would have been a lot more exciting if this had been Gears of War.
Except for the giant sphincter doors.
Yeah, the giant sphincter doors are
but
strange.
But a little background for those of the people that are actually listening.
Not familiar with religion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
there's this.
They're not be fooled by the zealots.
Yeah. And if you believe in the invisible pink unicorn, it won't do jack shit for you.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
It's pretty special.
There's really not a whole lot to say about this.
Yeah, and this was in the real news. This was the New York Times, and I'm reading this going, what? And
well, obviously, even they found it a bit hypocritic.
Yes, they're very
Well, they interviewed
they're
one
very
of the
good
kids.
at being doctors.
They interviewed one of the kids who's actually at the church, and his response was, "It's cool to blow people up."
Yeah, that's excellent.
that would be if Xbox
In the name of the Lord.
Yeah, and Jesus said unto
you, kill the snipey bitch.
Kill the spawn camper.
Get out.
Sniper on the Sunnyside Ridge. Yeah.
Hello, he did say unto his apostles, sniper!
I smite thee, spawn camper.
Stop camping at the spawn point.
There are no spawn points in Halo.
Well,
It's funny you say that because I was using the what's the name of the laser?
The
Spartan laser.
The Spartan laser, and I'm sitting up on the top of this wide open level, this industrial base level, and I'm focusing on this guy halfway across, and one of my own dudes spawns right in front of me, and I kill him, and he's like. And all I hear over the mic is like, well, that was a hell of a spawn point. And I'm like, oh my god, dude, I'm sorry.
And remember, there is no spawn killing in Halo.
Well, there is when you reappear in front of your own guy and he shoots you.
Okay.
There's no spawn killing. There's only accidents.
You know what? I couldn't help but laugh because the guy
somebody who has played Halo 2 and Halo 3 on Xbox Live religiously, there is no spawn killing, just targets of opportunity.
Yeah.
Well, it's like you're not outnumbered. You're in a target-rich environment.
You gotta laugh when you got the ability to go back and watch the replay and you see the guy appear, turn around, look at you, and then you both die because you automatically suicide for killing your own guy.
Oh, it's not lag, it's Comtastic.
Yeah. That's Comcastic.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
so
Damien, your company sucks.
So it goes out to all the haters.
it's a good thing he's in Philadelphia, where apparently sucking is
a whale lot.
I got to call him up after we swept the Phillies.
Oh, yeah. Well, moving right along.
yes. Well, they can always use the collection basket to pick up the latest game.
Yeah, whatever. Next.
That's what the collection basket is for. Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare, man.
Yeah.
Puzzle.
Gotta keep moving.
Puzzle.
Otherwise, some kids they'll just lose them just that fast.
Yeah. You got to keep buying games.
Puzzle Quest Challenge of the Warlords on XBlah on Wednesday for 1,200 Microsoft points.
Spend a lot of time on XBlah, do you?
No.
Oh, yeah, it's his favorite blah.
The man who doesn't own a 360, yes. Matter of fact, the only person here who doesn't own a 360.
I'm waiting for
welcome our new XBlah overlords.
I'm waiting for the
or whatever.
I'm waiting for the Xboxes that don't suck.
I don't think I'm going to be buying this one because I put so damn much time into the DS version. It's got like 30 hours into that little bitch. It's like, I don't want to play this again.
I'm really looking forward to being able to play, with the big screen, get the high-quality graphics and everything, because that was one of my big disappointments with seeing the handheld version, is the PSO demo they put out was, looked a lot better.
Yeah.
So now hopefully I can get all of that.
I just didn't want to wait that long. I wanted to play the handheld version.
And it's also nice that they're releasing it for so cheap, comparatively speaking, to the handheld versions.
Yeah, there is that.
How much?
$15, 1,200 points.
That's not bad.
So our last piece.
Was it Shimmering Isles?
Shivering Isles.
God
Yeah.
damn, $30.
Especially when you can buy the Game of the Year edition of Oblivion, get all the content, and still be doing fine.
Yeah.
What was the other game that was coming out on Wednesday that you were complaining about, John?
Who, me?
Yeah, it was. What was the other Xbox Live Arcade game that was coming out Wednesday?
Oh, no, the Yaris game.
Oh, the Yaris game. Yeah.
That's just a waste of
The
programming.
less said about that, the better.
What is the Yaris game?
Well, you know what a Yaris is, right?
I think it's a small European country.
No, it's a Toyota. It's an economy. It's a very small economy slash and also the things get like 50 miles to the frickin' gallon too. But anyway, they made an Xbox Live game about the goddamn Toyota Yaris.
So
It's
this-
the latest incarnation of the Burger King.
Or,
Yes.
or the Cool Spot game on the Super
Hey,
Nintendo.
I will say,
Cool
I
spot.
did manage to pick up a copy of Dead or Alive Extreme 2 for the same price as Sneak King.
Well, you know, the
$2?
cool spot. What was up with the cool spot? Because like
Yeah, I got.
that's like a fairly notable like
I
trademark
still
thing
have it
that
in
they
the
just
shrink
like
wrap, probably
totally
because I'll
dropped.
never take it out.
Cool Spot was
I
part
got
of the
DOA Extreme 2
was
for
a
$4.99
red dot that
Xbox.
was part of the 7-Up
I was
logo.
like, oh,
Yes,
yeah,
I realize this.
all right, okay.
But why did it go away?
That's kind
It's
of
not
sad
like
that they're even
they had a
selling
mascot
360
to
game for
replace
$5.
it. It's
Yeah.
7-Up. What are you gonna do?
Well, what
Not
happened-
all pop needs a
But I got-
mascot.
Yeah,
Well,
like
I'm sure
like
they
the
got a
Noid.
sales bump from it, though.
Like the Noid.
Yeah, what happened to the Noid?
That's
Just beat
The Noid was
That's a
just,
great
you know, he ran his run and then it was
What
just
is it
no
called?
longer
Did
necessary.
he really have a run?
retrying is a little punishing, but it's
Apparently some company exec actually got annoyed and decided we don't need him anymore.
I just don't get it. I
Well,
don't get why they get
It's advertising.
I
They
don't
come up with a
understand
new
why
idea
they-
and the old idea goes out the door. It's
But
the
they,
same
a
with
lot
anything.
of times they don't pull out like a new idea. Like, what's the new Domino's idea for like the last 20 years?
It's
Nothing.
just delivery.
It's
No, aren't they selling some Oreo shit thing now that you like eat and it's all?
dessert pie.
Yes.
yeah, because that's really better than
Yeah.
Maybe someday I'll have a beard like yours with
Yeah,
the
you
know,
Oreo.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah, I want
commercial
sugary
is so
confection all over
creepy,
my face.
But the guy says it. The guy who does he says it with like such conviction. I'm
Yeah.
Like, damn.
Someday you too will grow yours. I know it.
Yeah, you look like a reject from a scat film. Okay.
Oh.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
Number 16.
The Japanese Agriculture Ministry is not in charge of Gundam.
Nice segue.
What the hell does that have to do with anything?
It has nothing to do with games. It's just amusing.
hey.
It's just a post by the Japanese.
Hey, you reminded me too. The new Gundam series came out on TV this week,
Ah,
so I'll need to go torrent the first episode.
Turret.
So
It's called MS Gundam 00.
so
That's
six,
Comcastic.
six employees of the
Ooh,
Japanese.
no.
6 employees of the Japanese
Will be.
Agricultural Ministry have been reprimanded for writing 408 Wikipedia articles since 2003, over half about cartoon mecha when they were supposed to be doing stuff related to whatever agricultural officials do. One of the 6 focused solely on Gundam, to which he contributed 260 times, said ministry official Tsutomu Shimomura. The Agricultural Ministry is not in charge of Gundam.
This is like the Times
Dude, that should be like
quote page.
You need to find that and like submit that to like ANN, dude.
Yeah. Japanese.
So apparently, the Japanese Agricultural Ministry, whatever they do, don't.
They
handle
should
Gundam.
just stay in the corner and drink tea and not be posting on Wiki.
Yeah.
Let alone about fictional mecha.
Or
Yeah.
at least save the post till they get home.
Well, I want to know exactly at what point in time did the agricultural ministry go, well, I wonder what people are putting on Wikipedia.
I bet it wasn't the agricultural ministry.
Yeah.
It was probably somebody going, gee, I wonder where my tax dollars are going today.
They're probably just checking their email accounts and went a little further.
Or someone ran that Wikipedia
Just
thing. It's
don't
like,
use
well,
your
wait a
email
minute.
account at
All
work.
these
I mean,
Gundam edits are coming from the same place. Wonder what's going on here. So
Moving on.
maybe they
Pushing
need to
the issue
follow.
of maybe
All right.
having to move the video.
I'm concluding this section and moving on to Angry Jod reviews. I am enacting a coup.
enacting a coup.
Yes.
Well, so am I.
Angry John reviews.
Bloodrayne.
2.
Electric Boogaloo.
Yes, Bloodrayne 2, Deliverance.
Dun dun dun.
So they ride on a river and get.
Actual subtitle. On
Yes. Yes. Bloodrayne 2 Deliverance.
Do they tell anybody to squeal like a pig?
No, it takes place in the town of Deliverance, Montana. That's why it's called Deliverance.
That is so stupid.
So I decided to go back and listen to my last review, and it wasn't really a review, as mostly a just long, drawn-out plot synopsis. So I'm not going to do that this time. Here's the plot in a nutshell. Rain, in the 1880s or 90s or something, fights Billy the Kid and a bunch of vampires in the town of Deliverance, Montana. There you go. There's your plot synopsis.
What more do you need to know?
Oh, Billy the Kid.
And he's a vampire. He's the master vampire, actually.
Oh.
The actor who plays him, Zach Ward, was actually in Transformers. He was one of the soldiers who escaped from the airbase, but not one of the main ones. Just like
A dude.
a dude, and he had like 2 lines. But anyway,
Can't
he's
see
playing
why you
Billy the
wouldn't
Kid,
think that Billy the Kid was a vampire.
Wild West outlaw, and he talks with a Eurotrash accent.
Oh, good.
So I'm like,
Wait, what?
yeah, I know, believe me. So a Eurotrash accent for Billy the Kid. I'm like, yeah. And of course, if you're into B movies, Michael Paré helps Rain fight Billy the Kid as Pat Garrett.
Oh,
Who,
Jesus Christ.
if you know anything about history, actually killed Billy the Kid.
Oh.
But if you also know anything about history, all that happened in Arizona and New Mexico, not Montana.
Yes,
So-
the wild, wild west of Montana.
Yeah.
This sounds like
more interesting in script form.
sounds like the level of historical accuracy only Xena could aspire
The great
to.
Dr. Yui Bowl returns to direct again.
Yes.
And
Yui Bowl, you've created a time paradox.
it has all the hallmarks of a Yui Bowl movie. Badly acted, badly directed,
there
badly
a
shot.
cave?
No. If you watch this, the first time I saw the town of Deliverance, Montana, how badly shot it is. Even though it's supposed to look like the Wild West, the framing and the way it's shot, even though you don't see cars or anything modern looking around, it looks like, like some tourist thing that somebody could just walk into. I never once thought I was actually in the 1880s. I just thought it was like a one-horse town in Montana that you could just walk right into
It was a distinct
in modern
lack of
times.
mud.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's called Billings.
Yeah.
The chick who plays Rain, because Christiana Loken was so busy making her epic Sci-Fi Channel series Painkiller Jane, so good it was canceled after 1 season.
Which was still a better choice.
Yes,
So
her
they
name's
kill the pain.
her name's Natasha something or other. And anyway, she was Ayane in the Dead or Alive movie.
Oh.
So,
he's
direct
sticking
to
with his
video.
stable of actors there.
yeah, but surprisingly enough, I IMDb'd her, and she's also apparently been in every CBS criminal procedural drama, like playing either like a hooker or a model or something. So,
She gets around.
So she's got a wide array of roles that she's playing.
yes.
She has multiple talents,
Yes.
too.
Yes.
And like I said, Michael Paré has he's been in like 9 billion direct-to-video B movies since like the 1980s. The movie I always remember for is a movie from the 80s called Streets of Fire. So,
Streets of Fire.
but anyway,
Sounds like a Quinn Martin production.
yeah, this movie, it's just it's so bad. I mean,
Was there any part of it that was even slightly enjoyable?
no, not one bit. I mean, seriously, the action is so dull. It was like inaction. And even though they were actually shooting, I was like, just, I
You mean
wasn't.
shooting the movie or like shooting?
No, shooting, because it takes place in the Wild West. So there's lots of shooting. And it's like, wow, this is really boring.
Or
and
some
they're shooting. Even when they bring out the Gatling gun, there's like, wow, this is still really boring. It's like felt like everybody was just like walking around. It's like, oh, they got a Gatling gun, we should run. Let's just walk away a little quickly. So
Is there any point to shooting a vampire?
I don't know. Well, actually, yes, because Rain rubs garlic on her bullets.
So they're tasty and delicious.
So she's sitting there with a mincer with bullets and just.
And then
What did Emerald give her that
and
idea?
then she sprinkles holy water on them.
Oh
Yui
Jesus!
Bowl is proof that it doesn't matter how much money you make in a movie. It's just the fact that you have a movie listed on your resume that gets you that next job.
Yeah. Oh, and also, if I remember, also Zach Ward, who plays Billy the Kid, apparently Yui Bowl was so impressed with his performance, he cast him as the lead in his next movie, Postal.
Oh, they got that wonderful quote for "He's just such white trailer trash." He really brings the right feel to the role.
An air of authenticity to the role.
I mean, the movie as a whole is it's just bad. I mean, the action sequences are bad. I mean, yeah, they shoot the vampires, and the vampires actually fall over, and their skin turns black, and then they die.
So is it bad enough to be funny?
No. Not even. It's so boring. It's so boring. I mean, the whole time I'm watching this movie, it took me 4 viewings to get through this movie. Okay, the movie is about an hour and 28 minutes long. I had to watch it. I had to watch it over 4 nights in like 20-minute increments because I was just so bored with it.
Make it episodic to
Yeah,
be
like
able to take it.
yeah, like when they syndicated G.I. Joe the movie, yeah, and cut it up into 5 episodes. It's bad. It's just bad. If you see this movie and you're like mad at yourself, rent it if you feel the need to punish yourself. Seriously.
Okay.
As far as value on this movie goes, how you guys do it, well, I got the movie for free, and it ate up valuable bandwidth, okay, on my computer that I could have used for porn, okay. So fuck this movie.
Now,
So would you watch it if somebody paid you $5?
No, because I could watch porn for free.
he's got a point. Now, I'm going to ask a stupid question. I know it's a stupid question, but the assumption is that this has absolutely nothing to do with the video game. That is correct?
Absolutely nothing.
It has a half-vampire main character who's
Yes.
female and kills vampires?
And her name is Rain. Oh, and she has those 2 sword things, too.
Is there any nudity, any...
No, that was the other thing. There's actually nudity in the first Bloodrayne movie. This movie has no nudity, even though at one point they even walk into a whorehouse.
No nudity in a whorehouse.
Yes.
That's just wrong.
Yes.
I don't buy this movie at all now.
There's no realism in this at all. I've been gypped.
And it's just another lame thing I have to mention about this movie. After she confronts Billy the Kid for the first time and she gets wounded and she gets away with the help of Pat Garrett, the 2 of them are like, we need more guns. So they round up 2 more guys to help them fight the vampires. And they go to fight the vampires, and these 2 guys are dead within about 5 minutes. Like, wow, you didn't really need 2 more guns, did you?
It was Dom and his brother Dom.
And one of them is a priest. He's actually the guy who blesses the holy water that they sprinkle on the bullets.
Oh Jesus!
Now their ammunition source is gone too.
So Yui Bowl, he wrote this script?
No, actually, he did not write the script.
He's not that talented.
It's done by 2 guys who, I'm sure that
Didn't play the game.
Yeah, they didn't play the game. Somebody just told them, it's about a half vampire chick who's kind of hot. I will say the chick who plays Bloodrayne, it would have been nice to see her naked because she is pretty hot. And the funny thing is, she played Ayane in the DOA movie, and she doesn't look Asian at all. Yet in this movie, she actually did look Asian, which was really, really perplexing. I mean, I'm looking at her going, she looks kind of Eurasian, right? And I remember her from the DOA movie. I'm like, wow, they got a white chick to play Ayane.
Well, it's back in the old West. Nobody could tell the difference back then.
Oh, yeah, they had, Chinese playing Native Americans and playing, it's like
White
MASH.
people playing everybody. What are you
Yeah.
talking about?
So once again, fuck this movie. I mean, seriously, I got it for free. I BitTorrented it. You know what? Come and give me MPAA. I don't give a fuck. I watched the movie. You didn't.
I wonder
That's
if
punishment
Bowl
enough,
even
so.
belongs to a studio that pays dues to the MPAA.
Wow.
Actually, probably not. It was the logo that shows up is like Event Films, and I'm like, wow, Event Films.
Yeah,
And
obviously.
exactly.
Big name there.
Yeah, wow. So now you were going to do the original Bloodrayne, but it's been such a long time since you've seen it, and obviously the plot wasn't memorable enough for you to remember
No,
it
I mean,
this night.
I just remember that it has Oscar winner Sir Ben Kingsley in it. I mean, talk about slumming. This is the man who played, Gandhi. He was in Schindler's List, and he was in Bloodrayne. That's like, whenever Sean Connery's, IMDb profile comes up, and you see Highlander 2: The Quickening.
Yeah.
So.
They had a surprising number of good actors in the first Bloodrayne, and I think the only reason was because they could show up for about 6 hours to shoot the entirety of their contribution to the movie.
I think Uwe Boll has finally reached the point where he can't get decent actors, though.
Well, they even realize how bad the films he's doing are.
Like,
they
if
don't want to be associated with him.
If you look at like the Uwe Boll film that hasn't been released yet, that's like almost 3 years old now, In the Name of the King, a dungeon siege tale, actually has several name actors in it. But if you look at like the casting for Postal, there's not really any big names in it. Because I think people are finally starting to realize this guy is a total fucking hack.
What's the deal with In the Name of the King anyway? I mean, it's supposed to be out like a decade ago now.
I know. I was supposed to review it like 4 or 5 times now.
Like,
and every time it gets a release date, it gets pushed back. So.
What is there to do with this movie?
I don't know. Well, hey, you know what? It'll probably be coming out eventually because the writers and directors are about to go on strike. So there won't be any movies made for a little while. And somebody will be like, hey, we've got this Dungeon Siege movie. Let's put it out. Somebody will go see it.
It's going to be movie hell.
Thanks, John. Any other video game movies? Are you going to watch Postal when that comes out?
Well, Hitman comes out actually later this month, so I will check that out. Starring Timothy Oliphant, who most people probably don't know of, but
he draws all those political ways.
But he's a total badass. If you ever watched Deadwood, where he played Sheriff Seth Bullock.
Oh yeah.
So he actually got that part over Vin Diesel and Jason Statham, and so we'll see how that goes. And we talked about this. If you want, I don't know. I have seen both the Blue Dragon anime and the Devil May Cry anime, and I can always review those too.
Well, they are video game related.
Yeah, so
maybe
all 12 episodes of the Devil May Cry anime.
Maybe Blue Dragon will actually make it, make the game seem, make sense.
The game sucks, dude. I played the demo on. I downloaded the demo and it sucked.
So did I. You know why the demo sucked? Because you have no idea what you're doing when you start.
That and also the really annoying voice acting, especially for that little monster thing with the funny fucking head and weird ears.
Yeah, well, the thing that bothered me was that I was playing a game and I had no idea what I was doing in the game, how to do it, or why I was doing it. Yeah. So
that seems to be the 3 critical bases to play a game.
Well, it's a horrible demo. I mean, the game could have been awesome for all I know, but the demo is horrible.
Speaking of horrible demos, Medal of Honor Airborne. I love Call of Duty 2 so much, and Medal of Honor Airborne is such a waste. Don't buy this game either. I played the demo. I was sniping guys in the head, and they weren't dying because the hitbox in the game must be fucked up, and it wasn't registering the kills.
That's frustrating.
All right.
It's kind of annoying.
Well, thank you, John. A addendum, even though it'll probably be edited. I checked VG charts with a Z. Wii is at 12.12 million, Xbox 360 11.51 million, PS3 at 4.89 million, DS 51.14 million, PSP 24.18 million. Halo 3 sold 2.6 million copies, and Halo 3 in Japan sold 60,000 copies.
Yes, but remember, it is the Japanese.
It's still impressive for Japan.
It is the Japanese Wii numbers that put it over the 360.
Although that does point out that the good thing about the Wii and the DS is they're the only ones that are doing well in all markets.
Yeah.
Well, and Japanese players playing in FPS, how often that happen?
Well, actually, the PSP is doing pretty well in all 3 regions as well. Japan, America, and others.
It just has to live in the shadow of the DS. Not that there's anything wrong with
it.
It
always will. That's a gimme.
If there's anything wrong with that. This is a Seinfeld episode.
Yeah, it is.
I don't understand.
Why do we wear socks? I don't get it.
So, next up, we have our 1-minute game reviews. This is a reformatting of the game reviews, where you have a minute to talk about your game.
Your minute started about 15 seconds ago.
Are you doing a review? Are you
Playing the same game you
Nah.
are.
Are you doing a review?
I could talk about 99 Nights.
Cool.
Have I already talked about 99
No.
Nights?
So
I might
99
have.
Nights, I can do it in 5 seconds. So have you played Dynasty Warriors?
Although I actually like 99 Nights significantly more than Dynasty
All right,
Warriors
well-
because it goes over the top in the right way.
All right, well, hold-
it's
Save it
different.
for the review.
It's different enough, but still, it's like
all right. Enough from the peanut gallery. Unless does
I
anyone
have played 99 Nights, so
All right,
I actually
all right,
do
all
know
right.
what I'm talking about.
All right. Does anyone want to do a review of Halo 3?
No,
I can.
Okay. It has to be under a minute.
I can't do a review without spoiling it for Krukov.
Yeah, it would suck.
Okay, hold on. All right, so we're going to start with what is it? We have Angry John doing a 1-minute review of Halo 3.
When does this minute start?
About 5 seconds ago.
Now?
Not now. Now. just go.
On 3 or 3, then go.
1, 2, and 3, then go, or 1, 2, go on 3, or
3, or on
you gotta
one,
get a
or on
point when we
action.
go, or what?
All right, well,
I'm here. Where's Riggs?
All right, I was trying to say. I mean, the game. If you're a Halo fan, it's awesome. I mean, it's got everything you want. They improved on some of the things. Multiplayer is why the game truly rocks, though. I mean, long after you beat the campaign, you'll be coming back to multiplayer. I know I will for the next couple years. Because especially now with like Forge and stuff, where you can put in all these new game variants like Joust, which I was telling these guys about, man cannons and launching each other on mongooses. Just game fucking rocks. Story, the ending kind of leaves it a little open ended for future games. Didn't really care for the way it ends with Master Chief. You saw it.
Can't say anymore, John.
Yeah, I know. But it leaves it open for more games. I really like the choices they made in the story, though, especially with some of the supporting characters. Guys who played it know what I'm talking about. All right, that's it.
So for a rating, John, how much did you pay for the game?
$59.95.
And how much is it actually worth?
For me, $99. So I would have paid $100 for the fucking game. So
Ugh.
There's a lot of people out there. I mean, I was waiting
there was a
in
lot of
line
people
to buy
who
my
did
copy,
pay $100 for the
and
game.
there was the Halo 3 Xbox and Halo 3 on it. No other games. This was a $400 purchase for them to play Halo 3, and they looked happy about it.
You know, I gotta say too, and I'm not a console FPSer, but
$60.
I enjoyed playing this with other friends of mine playing it at the same time.
And the camera, of course.
The camera, yeah, the way you can save the last 25 videos of whatever games you've played. Wherever you play them, and you can go back and edit them and zoom around them a la Matrix mode, and it's just it's phenomenal what they've been able to do with the game.
Yeah,
like I said, I am not an FPSer on the console, but I would buy this at a reduced price point just to play with friends, or just go rent it to play, because it's fun with friends, but it's not something I would buy personally.
And yeah, the camera. I mean, Murdock. Roger saved it too. The classic shot of me planting a spike grenade right between both his ass cheeks and then just sticking out his ass, dude. It's hilarious as hell.
The things you can do and
then
go
it
back
killed
and
him,
review.
too.
Well,
It is really interesting because people have been down on this game for being, very average and not innovating. But it seems like the places they've innovated are really in the community features and the things that I think will make this game
What's the
last
places
for a
that
long
make
time.
the difference? Yeah, the places that people wanted a change.
well,
If
okay.
you're already doing something really good, you don't need to change much.
Okay.
If you like Halo, you like it. And
All right. So next up, I have a review under a minute for Legend of Zelda, the Legend of Zelda: Phantom Hourglass. So this, stop that. Stop making those faces. So this game basically sequel to Wind Waker.
Wind Waker.
Whacker.
Wind Walker.
You're using it my minute.
Moonraker.
Whacker.
The game is about 99% stylus, but it works really, really well.
And 1% perspiration.
No, it's 1% L trigger. The game works really well. Very interesting story. Very easy to get Link to do what you want it to do, despite the fact that it uses the stylus. Nice features including being able to draw on the map to remember, where things are hidden, stuff where you may need to return next.
And it
stuff
consistently
like
asks
that.
you whether you have saved it on that map, too. Would you like to save it on the map? Wink,
Yeah.
wink, hint, hint, nudge, nudge.
Yeah. The game.
So at that point, couldn't they just put it on the goddamn map
Yeah,
for
it's
you?
like they might as well save you the trouble.
It's supposed to actually they want you to actively use the styli.
And is it as
Stylus
easy as
stuff.
Wind Waker?
Is the what?
Is it as
Easy as Wind
easy as
Waker.
Wind Waker?
Yeah, it's about as easy as Wind Waker so far, but I paid $39 for it. I think it's worth
And you haven't
30.
even beaten it yet.
$32. It's a very good game, though. Very good game so far.
I will
About
say the
halfway through
interesting
it.
thing about it, the game had a lot of exclusives. Like if you bought it at Toys R Us, it came with a free guide. If you bought it at Circuit City, you got free stylus, free earphones, and a little screen.
And if you bought it at
cleaner.
GameStop, you got the question, well, why aren't you playing Halo 3?
Yeah.
So, Green Hat, have one of those. Boomerang, have any of those. Bomb,
Yeah. You got
Puzzle
this-
Dungeon,
yeah.
pushable blocks,
It's all the same.
rupees hidden in the
basics.
grass.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
just
hearts.
checking.
Always hearts.
Fairies.
Smack the tree for extra
Well,
rupees.
actually, they now have different types of rupees that actually take away. They're like negative rupees. They're like ruponts. That's actually what they're called.
They're money that takes away money.
Yeah.
It's like early
The
taxes.
dollar in September.
It was early taxes, is what it was. You just didn't know it. 'Cause
Hey,
you're
I
too
didn't-
young to understand what taxes were.
Don't complain to me. I didn't
Those
program this game.
It was Zelda inflation. Your money's now worth less because you found more money.
Wait, what? Huh?
Doesn't matter how much you find; it's
Yeah.
all worth the same.
Well, that was a complaint for earlier Zelda games. Was a lot of times you found more money than you ever really needed.
Well,
was
I don't know
it can
that
only
the
register
solution
up
to
to
that is
250. It can only register to
money that
250.
takes your money away.
It can only register to 255 because with the hex code it was FF, and anything higher than that would crash.
That's kind of like when they say this game is too easy. Oh, well, let's recycle these levels in the middle 4 times.
Yeah.
There's some answers that are right, some answers that are wrong.
So next up, John will be talking about 99 Nights.
In 1 minute?
Hopefully.
Does it take more than a minute?
99 Nights. You kill a whole bunch of dudes, and the best reason to do it is the secret character you unlock at the end is a good time. To play a giant troll who beats people with a large stick. It's pretty fun.
Wow.
I gotta say, I only made it about halfway through the game. That's as far as it held my interest.
I
So
will say one thing also. Halo 3, I have yet to go back and play Bioshock since Halo 3 came out.
Did you beat Bioshock?
No, I'm only about a third of the way through the game, actually.
Huh.
But I think the other thing is that Bioshock is really fucking hard. And Halo 3,
Well, Bioshock makes you think.
well, Halo 3 on normal was just right. It almost got to the point in places and points where it was kind of really frustrating.
Well,
But
until
if
you figured out what you were doing,
Yeah,
and what you had to
once
take
you
out.
died 2 or 3 times, you're like,
It made you strategize when you were killing.
Certainly a pain in the ass.
it was a pain in the ass, but I never died in that battle.
I just kept circling around shooting, and I had no problem
See,
with it.
the first scarab is easy. The second scarab, I just could not bring it down, but that's because I had nothing to bring it down with.
I just
gotta run
kept circling
back.
around
You
in
gotta-
my buggy. It was.
Well, I jumped in one of the little hornet thingies and
Well,
shot
so
it
did
for a
I.
while.
Well,
and
see, no, I
As long as you
I
keep
went
moving
shotgun
on your
the
buggy,
hornet,
your guy in the
drove
back
down
will
on-
stay
drove
alive,
down
and he will
onto one
take
of
it
the
down
stairs
for you.
and took it out no problem, right? Jumped off it, but then I had nothing to take down the second stair.
you're running back up the thing there and go get your tank.
You're making it too hard on yourselves.
One of the asshat NPCs drove it down and got it blown up.
That's awesome.
I regret nothing!
All I did was circle
And then
around
back up,
both
like,
of them in
"Where's
the
my
buggy.
tank?" And then I look further down the hill. I'm like, "Oh, there it is! And look, it's upside down and on flames."
Yeah,
All I did was circle around in my buggy with the NPC firing, and as long as I kept moving, he killed the first one, and then I parked directly behind the first one, which was actually facing away from the other one, which saved the buggy from getting blown up. I was able to go in, blow that up, drop out, get in the buggy, and then go circle the other one and repeat. And it was just
This has been your
super
Game
easy.
Pro game tip.
Yeah.
Yeah, I finally managed to get into get the second one down. There was a warthog left, and I was able to jump on the back, and it wasn't the gun, it was the it fires those grenade-like things.
Yeah, the
You mean the
yeah.
grenades?
That's the buggy I had, was the guy firing the tubes.
So see, I managed to get in one on the back, and
I just got
put
in-
enough shots into.
I got in a ghost. There was a ghost buried in the sand.
But to get back
I
to
never saw one of
the
those.
to get back to John's review here, how much
Do
did
we
you
really
pay
need
for 99 Nights?
99 cents.
I don't remember. I think the secret to me enjoying that game was, I bought it like a year ago and played like a level every month or so.
Yeah, it's probably the pace that you have to do it.
Well, that's how
You
long
never
it
got
takes to
burned out
actually
on it.
finish a level, right?
Wow, so,
No, it
so
only-
in other words, I might want to hold off on Dynasty Warriors Gundam then.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. It's
could
much
just
All
buy
those
the demo
Dynasty
now.
Warrior engine games are worth about $10.
But I'm a huge Gundam fan.
and that
Yeah,
goes
still, it's
all the way.
Dynasty Warriors.
That goes all the way back to the first one. That was the first game I bought on the PS2 right when I bought it on release day. And it was so much fun for about an hour. And then I realized how much my fucking hand hurt. I'm like, and I got like, 10 more hours into this game?
Yeah,
right,
God,
right,
I mean, you get
Right,
really
I
tired of
downloaded
just...
the Dynasty Warriors Gundam demo, and by the time you reach the boss, because it's just one level, I'm like, dude.
It's not worth it.
Turbo controller.
I really liked how, though, in 99 Nights, you go through all that slogging, you kill like 500 dudes, and then you get to use your super attack, and you kill like 1,000 dudes at once. And it's really satisfying.
Yeah, but it's
This is
like-
just these
Oh, but
piles
you
of
gotta
core
time
time
that
satisfying
everywhere.
over and over and over and over.
It's so repetitive.
If you
so
could
tedious.
save after you did a super attack and then come back later so you could do a super attack again later, because I don't want to spend all the time to do it again.
Takes like 5 minutes.
Biggest complaint about
Yeah,
the-
it takes like 5 minutes
my
going,
biggest
dab, dab,
Dynasty Warriors
dab,
Gundam
dab, dab,
is that
dab,
it
dab,
forces
dab,
you to
dab,
use
dab,
the-
dab.
The fishy Gundam wing boys. Oh.
Well, thanks. So lastly, we usually have our video game roundtable, but Steve hasn't been here to,
Doing what?
Round it out.
round it out, because the starting topic I had was why is Japan superior, so we could start laughing at them again, but
Why is Japan superior?
lolies,
Wow.
scat porn in 1080p.
Because they've managed to make everyone feel uncomfortable when they show a picture of a
Why have
3-year-old
they
in a
cornered-
schoolgirl outfit.
Why have they cornered scat?
Where are
porn?
these
What the hell is
where are
wrong
these
with
pictures
that?
coming from? I want to know. What now?
I said, why have they cornered scat porn? What the fuck is wrong with
I
that?
thought that was South America had that.
Yeah, I thought that was something awful that
Yeah,
managed to
yeah,
pretty
yeah,
much,
yeah. Pretty much.
yeah.
Why is that hot?
Well, it comes from your butt. That's why it's hot.
I
Yeah,
think
let
that
me-
Japan
let
is
me read.
superior because they have fiber to the premises.
That is correct. They have the highest bandwidth in the
I
world,
thought it was
don't they?
Korea, actually.
If
Wait,
if Korea's better, more wide than Japan, it's very close because
Yeah, I know.
they're all such high density populations that it's not like relaying out, DSL out here. It's like, can you pass this piece of fiber to your neighbor, and then just keep passing it.
Well,
So
in
we'll
a
make-
country where every house is like 10 feet from the other
Yeah,
one,
exactly.
and they're literally connected wall to wall,
Well, in
the
Korea-
fiber is like
Plus,
1/10
plus
as
the
much
walls
as you
of
need.
most of those houses, paper. Real easy to run a wire through paper.
And Korea has the bonus
Yeah,
that
you-
they built all their infrastructure in the last
You know,
50 years.
you know what their
Yeah,
tool
like
is?
that.
It's their pinky. They stick a hole to
They
the
just
wall.
wet their pinky.
It's like giving a wet willy. Except then you stick fiber through.
Well, and if they run fiber anywhere near the same way that they run power lines, they just throw them wherever. So
That's true. The Japanese skylines are pretty hideous.
yeah,
Not quite as bad as like Nigeria, but
there's that.
Well,
Only
it's
'cause
called,
it's
But
cleaner.
it has the distinct benefit of not being Nigeria. So where are you going with this, Murdock?
I was just going to see if we could it was a starting point, but apparently
Also an ending
it-
point.
it got to the point of their bandwidth is better.
Okay, so Japan's superior because they only like easy hand-holding games.
Oh my god! Oh geez, not this shit again.
I don't know why. I mean, seriously, NDK forums, never type again. Seriously.
Why?
Although
Because that's where that came from.
I did like the developer quote they had up there that was one of the Japanese developers saying that, well, now the U.S. games have finally started to get as easy as the Japanese ones, so they're starting to look better.
Well, the Japanese only like
Excellent.
games where you tell them what to do, and they like slow-paced games. And
We're starting to catch up with the Japanese because they were talking to the creators for Assassin's Creed. And Kojima, I think it was Kojima himself, actually told one of the creators, he said, this looks like a Japanese game because it's so clean and well done. It just speaks
What?
Japanese.
Well, the
That was
Japanese
kind of impressive.
all the
Power
Japanese
shovel?
all the Japanese need to do is see the publisher. It's like, oh, it's not Japanese, and then they're going to buy it.
Yeah,
There-
but if
there-
they're just
there
looking
is
at
a
it
Ja-
and not knowing who
there-
made it, it looks Japanese.
Yeah, well,
though.
there is a definite Japanese bias for all that stuff.
Well, it's
Yeah.
not Japanese though. If you played any of the Prince of Persia games, it plays just like them.
Yeah.
And they don't play like Japanese games
Yeah,
because they're a combat platformer. So
I don't know. I think U.S. companies just have to start spending some money on the voice acting for the games they release in Japan, and then maybe things will work.
And
out a little
goodies. They
better.
should give
What?
more goodies.
what are you talking about?
All they need
Most
to do is
people prefer the English voice acting. In
Yeah,
the
especially in
That's
Japanese
because
game.
it sounds like the Japanese localizations are worse than the English localizations.
well, that's
we
because
get.
they are.
In Metal Gear, hell, even the Japanese prefer David Hayter's voice as Solid Snake.
That's
Although
kinda
the Japanese, for some reason, like Raiden, and he's universally reviled here in this country.
Not universally.
You like
Oh,
them?
he pretty much sucks.
I like Metal Gear Solid 2.
That game sucked, dude.
I thought it was a good time.
Oh, I hated it.
So what was that? Metal Gear was like it was like a conspiracy with McDonald's and the American Dental Association or something like that.
Yeah.
We
the,
put holes
the
in
20-minute
teeth.
end
We put
cutscene,
holes
which
in
explains nothing.
The plotline was ridiculous. The plotline in the first game was
Who-
ridiculous.
who
It's
are
kind of
the-
par for the course.
Who are the Sons of Liberty? Well, they're these guys, and maybe these guys. Oh, and these guys too. Oh, and
Next week on Batman, who are the Sons of Liberty? Well, they could be these guys.
and they own the Baltimore Orioles.
What's this?
I mean, Metal
True
Gear invented
believers?
the cutscene that was too goddamn long.
See, I will say, while Metal Gear Solid 3 was, the end cutscene, while it was also 20 minutes long, was very, very unconfusing, actually. As I'm watching, I'm going, oh, okay.
I still gotta play that.
This
For the
makes
first
sense.
time ever, I understood what was happening in a Metal Gear game.
Well, that would be Metal Gear 1 on the NES.
I didn't know what was going on in that movie.
I feel asleep.
I did after they summarized it in the Metal Gear Solid manual.
Oh,
That helped.
Wait.
actually.
Yes, I fell asleep.
I feel asleep. It's exactly like the plot of Akari Warriors. Oh wait, no, Akari Warriors was aliens, wasn't it?
No, that's
No.
Akari Warriors 2 Victory Road. Akari
Akari
Warriors
Warriors
So you're
One
thinking
was-
of Contra.
One. Akari Warriors 1, they're just in the jungle fighting
They're-
like Noriega or something.
something.
To Noriega.
They're
Have you seen the final boss for Akari Warriors? It's some Texan behind a desk.
No, it's not. The final boss for Akari Warriors is this giant machine with like a skull on it. I know because I got to it, and once you get to it, you can't do the trick anymore.
The ABBA.
Yeah. If you run out of lives when you get to it, it won't let you do the trick. I know because I got to it 4 times and never beat it on my NES.
Well, I beat it, and then it's like game over. I'm like, well, at least you could have misspelled congratulations like at the end of 1942.
And then they
Do that.
and then they returned in Akari Warriors 2 Victory Road.
Yeah, which if you
Which-
play,
They're fighting like giant floating Easter Island heads and shit like that.
well, that's Gradius.
I don't know. No,
That's Space
no,
Harrier.
It's also
It's Japan.
Victory Road. So I'm like, where the fuck did they go?
This is how we get back to the topic. It's Japan.
Well, Japan
It's
is
always Japan.
in no way superior.
Creative licensing.
No.
so. Are they coming out with a what? Was it a lowly stripper game or something? What-
They're also no way superior because they gave us shows like Super Milk Chan and shit like that.
yeah. Super Milk Chan.
Super Milk.
Yeah.
It's not what you think it is.
I don't know what I think it is.
It
What
looks-
do I think it is?
You probably
Tell me,
think it's-
Murdock.
You probably think it's a porn.
No, because Japanese put milk in every title anywhere. It's like, I mean, seriously,
Or
Milky
melt.
Punch, what?
Or orange.
Like I remember the first time I heard
Milky Punch.
No, Melty Lancer. I was like,
Yeah,
that's got to be porn. And I'm like, no, it's not porn.
Yeah,
Melty Lancer.
yeah, perfect edition.
For matching service. Oh wait.
What? Huh? All right, I got nothing.
Yeah, well,
I think we're all out.
yeah, we're all spent. We've used, and we haven't had
Blown
any,
my load.
and we haven't had any Wii jokes this episode. That's kind of a surprise.
We didn't have any Wii games.
You know why there's no Wii jokes? Because I actually heard on Fast Money and CNBC somebody made a Wii joke.
What?
Oh damn! It's gone mainstream.
It's gone mainstream now. We can't do it
It's
anymore.
totally ruined.
It was actually one of the traders said to the host, "Well, when we come back from the break, I'm gonna want to play with your Wii." And the host is like, "You don't know how long it's been since I've wanted you to say that." And I'm like, "Wow." CNBC made a Wii joke.
There hasn't been enough bagging on the PS3. I'm disappointed.
Well,
guys-
there hasn't been anything that's come out on the
PS3.
PS3 for us to do that.
Yeah, it needs games.
Yeah.
Folklore's releasing.
What, the
Needs
folklore
games.
that there's software on the PS3?
Yeah, that is folklore. It has no basis in reality.
A giant blue oxen brought games to the PS3.
You could talk about PS3 Home, which
Oh yeah, they're putting
ads.
ad supported stuff on home.
you know
Good.
my
That
ex-
worked really well for Anarchy Online.
Yeah, so
you know,
you're,
my Xbox Live 360 dashboard has ads, but they're not very invasive. So
Yeah, they have their own
Yeah.
little spot.
Yeah,
You
you're-
don't have to walk around and shout, "Yo, faggots! Anybody want to play a game?" Just to find somebody to play with.
exactly.
Yeah.
your PlayStation 3, your living room brought to you by Red Bull.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really looking forward to spending virtual currency on virtual couches.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's what I wanted on my console. Second Life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, that's exactly what I didn't want on my console.
Furries.
Well, furries is always, yeah.
The wrong answer.
I love that the PS3 fanboys think Home is going to just totally put Xbox Live to shame. And I'm like,
Suddenly give PS3 a decent networking service? Yeah.
Does PS3 have a networking
There's
service?
some pretty hardcore denial going on with PS3 fans.
They can't.
They paid $600 for their console.
I'm sure there's many mechanisms for this denial, but
Money
some of it's
blinds
pretty
a lot of
hardcore.
things.
no, but they're I saw a couple of them were like, "Oh man, fuck you guys in Halo 3. Wait till Killzone 2 comes out." And I'm like, okay.
Oh.
It is kind of sad when the biggest thing your console has to look forward to seems to be Little Big Planet.
And here's the thing: I remember the first Killzone.
Is that an educational title?
No.
Oh,
The
okay.
first
However, for some reason, has no spaces in it.
Oh, okay.
The first
Yeah.
Killzone, not a bad game, but not a very not a memorable game either. Nothing that really made it stand out from any other run-of-the-mill FPS.
I really like the single player in it. I
I
enjoyed
didn't.
it more than the Halo 2 single player by a fair bit.
I don't know, not for me. It just
Which was the Killzone one?
It was on PS2, so I don't know if you ever
It was like
played it.
urban SWAT.
Yeah.
Well, it was future
Or
dystopia.
anti-terrorist. It was more like
You were
like
playing
Ghost
future
Recon.
soldiers who
Yeah.
were getting invaded by the Hellgast, which were guys with suits with red obbises on
They
them.
looked like they escaped from Jinro the Wolf Brigade.
Yeah.
Oh,
It did.
didn't play it then.
It did
I would've
ruin
been making
Urban
General
Cityscape better than
Ghost,
anybody else.
Jokes all the time. Yep, didn't play that one.
Well,
I would have been like, the 80 please suck!
And then the multiplayer on it was a joke, though.
I never
Especially-
even bothered to try that.
Especially when it
My
was dubbed as
grandmother
a,
would big
it was
eyes, you
dubbed as a
have.
Halo killer.
Well,
By even EGM, they're like, "Is this PS2's Halo killer?" And I was like,
Yeah, so
No.
Sony
the best
just needs to,
innovation that it had was it really kept you in the first-person perspective for everything. So, you'd go over a barrier and you'd actually see him look down, put his hand on it, go over it, and the view would shift like it was instead of just being this kind of bob up and over the top
it
of
was
the thing.
realistic in that sense.
"Oh, also another reason, fuck the Japanese, is that they want to play, like Bloodrayne and shit like that, and fuck those games, man. And Mass Effect is going to be so much better."
Probably.
different audience.
Yeah, I know.
It really
Um,
is, yeah.
Well, in order for Sony to save
Well, it's
themselves,
gonna
they
be
really
the
need to
audience
bring
who
out,
likes good games.
Meridian 59 on the PS3.
Well, okay, I gotta say this, just briefly going back to Bloodrayne. When you're gonna make you're making a demo that has like 7 nested menus in it for each combat item. I think what you need is a tutorial that lasts longer than a minute and a half.
You so don't drop somebody in the middle of a
and give you
80-hour
a-
RPG at
Yeah.
hour 30.
Give you a 6-man.
Well,
give
you
you a
don't
six-
if you expect them to play the demo longer than
Yeah, I
10
know.
minutes.
I'm like going, okay, so I attack, and then I've got 70 other options. I don't know what to do
It
with
starts you
it.
off with a 6-man party too. There's a reason when you play an RPG, it starts you off with one guy.
Yeah.
So you can get used to controlling the one guy, and then carry that over as your
Well,
party gets larger.
And not only that, but they only give you 60 minutes to get through the demo. What?
And it was real-time combat,
Yeah.
too, so don't think about it too hard when
Yeah.
you try to do anything.
Yeah. It's like, okay, this is the worst demo I've played in years.
It was like the Final Fantasy VII demo, and they gave you all these powers and all these party members that weren't in your party. It was like the first boss. And then when you actually play the game, it's like, oh, why aren't I level 30?
How come I'm small?
I will say, I played the Eternal Sonata demo, and that one was a piece of cake, but that's because I went and grinded on it. I went and grinded, got my guys up to level 9, and then went through the demo.
That was a much better demo, though. I mean,
I
it
love the
walked you
combat
through the
system.
beginning for it. It's an interesting idea.
I really love the combat system, but I've heard that the game itself is really annoying.
Yeah, I read the
I
same thing.
can't bring myself to play a JRPG again. I just can't do it.
Yeah. No, believe me. I
Japan is crying right now for you.
I mean, no, seriously. There's nothing out there that I want to play. There's not an RPG come along down the pipe. Unless all of a sudden somebody announces KOTOR 3, I mean, Mass Effect is it for me, man. I mean, there's not.
Mass Effect will be cool. Fallout 3, that one will be
Of
exciting.
course,
Fallout 3 is looking interesting, too.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to
And it is
PC.
coming out on the 360, too, so.
Yeah.
All right, well,
I just want them to do an update of Wasteland so I can play it again.
Isn't that Fallout?
Well, no, not really.
I'm looking forward to The Witcher also.
They want you to think it is.
I'm just waiting for the witch touching game for the Wii.
Don't you already have that?
Well, I have it on the DS.
Oh,
That's the mini Wii.
It's the mini Wii.
Okay, we got a Wii joke and the podcast.
All right. Well, that's it for Diehard Gamer Radio. Thanks to Brian for
finding us a reason to end the podcast.
Yeah. And thanks to John. Hopefully, you will have another bad movie review for us.
Thank you for listening to Die Hard Gamer Radio. You can visit our website at diehardgamerradio.com and iTunes, or you can email us at diehardgamerradio@gmail.com.